Tonight, we're gonna do a smoky eye. Smoky. This one's for Mandy, because she wants me to do this. And no one else really asked me not to do this, so I'm doing this. Smoky eye, go. So we're gonna conceal first the bags. This is just a CoverGirl stick concealer. Wet your sponge. Nobody told me to do this. It's supposed to be moist. Okay. For foundation, we are gonna use Anastasia Beverly Hills foundation. I use a brush and then I pound it with the beauty blender. I forgot where I heard this, but you foundation the middle of your face first and then you spread that out. You know you're doing it right when you make a bunch of funny faces. Push that into the skin. Bailey taught me that. If you're going for full coverage, you might want to skip this step because it can shear out your foundation. Now we're gonna prime the eyelid. This is the Lorac Behind the Scenes primer. Nothing fancy here, your finger will do the trick. Speaking of Bailey, we're gonna use her palette for the base. We're gonna go in here with tan lines to start us off. Big fluffy brush, because this is going on a majority of your lid. Now we're gonna use the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette. I'm gonna start up here. These aren't named. There used to be a sheet in here, but we're gonna go in with these. Nice fluffy brush. And this color we're gonna pack into your crease. You can do one eye at a time if you want. I like to do both eyes at the same time. I feel like I do them evenly that way. Now you'll take a smaller brush. I like this small flat one. This is by the Vintage Cosmetic Company. It is good for the lower lash line. I used to be afraid to put a lot of color down here, but lately I've been dragging it down. I'm really filling in the under eye, and I think it makes the shadow look a lot better. Now we have another fluffy brush. This is my Alamar Cosmetics brush. This came in an Ipsy bag. I'm gonna move into some colors down here. I like my smoky eye to have a little bit of like a sunset effect on the top. So that's why we're gonna be using some yellow, beiges, and some purple. The best looking shadows to me are kind of a slow build. You could just put a bunch of purple and black on your lid, but when you layer it up this way, it has a gradient and it looks better in my opinion. And you can use that same small flat brush to get some of that color on the bottom. You can take one of the earlier colors, one of the lighter beige colors, to kind of connect the bottom and the top, almost like a little halo. And I really don't like harsh lines, so I will buff the shit out of this. Now this is a smaller, tighter brush, going into the darker colors, feeling a darker reddish color before the purple. And I always keep these brushes that I just used handy for blending my new color back in with the older one. For the darker colors, I'm gonna switch over to this Morphe palette. This is the 35P. This one's got some really great deep purples in it. For these darker colors, I like to use, this is one of my Morphe brushes. It's fluffy, but it's also flat. And I'll spray this with I'm using this Cover FX. It's a setting spray to wet the brush, and that will really grab the pigment and pack it on to my lid. This is good for staying power and also not letting this dark color fall on your makeup cheek. I know a lot of people prefer to do their foundation after eyeshadow, but I just, for some reason, have a hard time doing it that way. Now we can go back with that tight brush and we can hit that crease again to kind of blend this new purple in with the other. And then it is always good to have a fluffy brush that doesn't have pigment on it to kind of clean up and dust around spots of color so there's no harsh lines. I'm gonna use this Morphe brush, real small, smaller tipped. This will go in the black. I also wet this one because we really want that black to be extra pigmented. I'll just blend that up into the purple. We're gonna wing it out just a little bit and then we're gonna go over that with the black liner. And we are getting some fallout here. This is another fluffy brush with no pigment on it. You don't ever want to smear because that black will screw you all up. I am gonna take a fluffy brush now and kind of fluff out some of the purple with like a purpley brown. Hit the bottom lash line with some of this black. Any good black shadow will do. The Morphe palettes are always good about having a really good black in them. And then we will take a smaller fluffy brush. This is a good one. This is the e.l.f. blending brush. They have good brushes. We will take one of these lighter purples here, probably this one. And I'm gonna buff out the black that I added. It's a lot of layers, like an onion. That looks really funny when the eyebrows aren't done. But it all comes together in the end. One of the best parts of the Smokey eye, I think, is that lash line being black. Kat Von D has this cake pencil. Super awesome. I like it almost better than her actual lash liner. This one, just run it over your lash line. And you can also hit that top lash line as well. Be careful. I have poked my eye so many times doing that. Now I'm gonna use my big Intense Ink eyeliner, e.l.f. This one is awesome. It's from Old Navy. This is where I find this big one. Actually, Heck found it for me and he bought it. And I love him for that. Yeah, you just lay that liner right there on top of the shadow that you put there. And this thicker felt tip brush really makes it easy to just plop it down on there. I like to connect the bottom down there with that lower lash line. I got a little messy there, but that's okay. We can always fix it. Now with your big wings like that, my suggestion is to fix it by taking a little bit away rather than adding some on there, because you will be a panda before you know it. It is really hard to come back from that. So take away first. And then you can just pat over that with your beauty blender. Let that dry for a second and then we'll fix that line there. While we wait for that to dry, we will do our eyebrows. I like this eyebrow pencil more than any other eyebrow pencil in the world. This is Benefit Cosmetics Precisely My Brow. It's got the spoolie on one end. This is the best brow pencil I've used. I've been trying to brush all the hairs out a little bit, and then you draw that underline first. And I kind of fill it up as I go. And I will be pretty heavy-handed on this end of the brow, and I will get lighter and more defined, smaller strokes at the front of the brow. I feel like that looks a lot more natural than just like the blocked off brow or heavy all the way across. Just my personal opinion. So these will be hair-like strokes. And that will kind of feather into the rest. Then you spoolie to soften those lines just a little bit. I like the way they look, so I don't typically smooth that out too much. And then, as always, the trick is making the other side look the same. Got a little long there. A little pointy there. Build this one up a little bit. Try to match up that side. Now we'll hit that with some brow gel. I've put a lot of color down on them, so I'm just gonna use a clear brow gel. This is We Are Fluid. You're gonna start brushing this product on this back half of your eyebrow and let that get the most of the product, and then you'll bring it over to the front. And that, I feel, is the best distribution of the product here. Now we're gonna go back to that line that we were fixing. Now I am going to do a little bit of face contour, not heavy at all. I don't like a lot of sharp contouring. Just a Maybelline. This is a cooler brown bronzer color. I am very fair skinned, so I think for me the golden tones get too red. Push that on a little bit to hide that deb trim. And then in the pits of your cheeks, I like to go. And then across your hairline. And in the temple there. And we will do a little bit of blush. We're gonna use this one because I cannot find the other one that I'm wanting to use. This is a Farrah brush. I like the angled brushes for blush. My favorite blush right now is from ColourPop, the Sailor Moon. So pretty. We're just gonna dab a little bit. And we're gonna put the blush high up on the cheekbones, going back towards our hairline, because that is supposed to snatch the side of the face. This is the heavy pigment. We are gonna do some setting powder on top so that can settle the color a little bit. I'm also gonna use this Nomad Kiss of Sun highlighter. This is my highlighting brush. I do kind of a thin line over my blush. Like I said, we're gonna hit it with that transparent powder, and that's gonna distribute it a little bit more. Right under the eyebrow, right on top of the brow, tip of the nose, length of the nose. Sometimes when I'm doing that contour, I will put a little bit of that cool brown shade on my nose. Sometimes I don't, if my nose is having a fat day, but I don't think it is today. Now one of those big fluffy brushes, hit it with that transparent powder. This is the It by Pores. I feel like it has a definite blurring effect because no one can know that we have pores. It's a secret. I'm gonna do a little bit of mascara. Lash Princess. Bailey turned me on to this, and it's my favorite mascara. I'm also gonna do a false lash, so it's really good idea to curl your lashes when you put those on. False lashes have a tendency to stick straight or kind of lay forward. If you're a glasses wearer like me, you want to curl your lashes so they sit up a little taller and not stick out. Okay, now for the false lashes, I ordered these on Amazon. I love the magnetic lashes. They're so much better than glue. Lots of options. I think we need a serious lash for this look. First, you're gonna put this eyeliner on. So it's always good to have your eyeliner complete. And I also would say if you're gonna put mascara on first, mascara complete before you put this on. It's very thick and it has to dry before you put the lash on. You really need to saturate with this liner for it to hold. I don't normally recommend stretching the skin to apply liner, because when you let go of your skin and it goes back to its normal, natural place, it can affect the way the liner looks. But since we were just laying this on top of liner that was already there, I feel like it's fine. So we let that dry for a minute. While this liner is drying, we can line our lips. I'm going to use this Kylie Jenner nude liner. I love the formula of her lip liners. You can leave it like this, fill in your entire lip with the liner, or you can top it with the gloss. But these lip kits are awesome, in my opinion. Okay, and then we have the Kylie matte lipstick. Now this one does dry down super, super matte. So I always have a chapstick on when I start. Then the liner and the liquid lipstick, sometimes I hit it with the roller gloss or chapstick on top of that because it can get very dry. I love Kylie's nude line. These are great. Now for the lash, because I believe this magnetic liner is dry. I'm gonna show you how freaking easy this is. It's on. I will never go back to glue. Magnetic eyelashes are here's the finished look. We're gonna get a wig, because why wouldn't we? Voila! Smoky eye, cute bob and bangs. My heart just shit its pants.